Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leadership Advancement Mentorship Podcast, the podcast that highlights the journey of leaders, the journey that the great leaders have taken, the price they've paid, how they became aware of their leadership, and how they've been able to develop themselves, that price point for their development, and what effective leaders they become due to the process of mentorship. And I would like to welcome you. And my name is Dr. Michael Koku, your host. And I want you to know that you are in for a great treat today. Like I said, the people we bring to this podcast are practitioners. These are people that are in the leadership game. We don't bring people with philosophy or theorists. We love action because I know this is what you want. It's a real disrespect of your time when we bring people that are philosophers and are not practitioners. So with me today is one of those practitioners, someone that I've known for many years back, and someone that I've seen the face of our development, advancement that has gone to a whole new level. I tell you, this lady you're about to meet, she's not for turning. She is moving stronger and stronger by the day. Welcome with me to this podcast, Dr. Ayo Adenuga. How are you, Dr. Ayo? How are you?
I'm very well. Hello, everybody. Hello, Dr. Mike. It's lovely to be here with you. I feel honored. Thank you so much for the work you've been doing, for having me here today. I'm so super excited, to be here to speak to everybody. Thank you for having me.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I will actually ask Dr. Ayo to really introduce herself formally. But I'll add some things after our introduction. So let's meet you. Who is Dr. Ayo Adenuga?
Thank you. My pleasure to introduce myself. So Dr. Ayo Adenuga is a public health physician. I have over 20 years of leadership experience, improving lives of people, implementing healthcare programs, and most especially being able to add value to people's lives. As a person, I've grown through implementing healthcare programs through public, private sector, and nonprofits. I've been able to help improve systems. I've been able to bring medicines, if I can say medical access to people around the world, both in sub-Saharan Africa and even domestically in the US. So my greatest passion as Dr. Ayo is being able to help parents and help teenagers to fulfill their life's potential, being able to improve parental confidence in what they are doing with their teens, being able to help teenagers fulfill their destiny, helping them to grow as responsible and also successful teenagers and parents. So leadership, communication, relationship is where I thrive. I love to build leaders of tomorrow as parents and as teenagers as well. And that is who I am. Most importantly, I'm a mother of 3 children, teenagers, by the way. So I have a lot of experience, with all the things that goes around teenagers. But I want to use this my experience of mine to remove the overwhelm, that comes with parenting teenagers and even children in general, so that from experience, from learnings, from knowledge, others would be able to leverage, all the knowledge I provide to just be the best parent that they could be.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Actually, it's I already asked her to talk about what she's been working on. In fact, that was how we reconnect, and just for the sake of the audience, wherever you're hearing or watching all around the globe, Dr. Adenuga, we happen to be colleagues. We went to the same medical school together. We finished way back. That was many years back. And but the beautiful thing that really make me to reconnect to her was, I'm always on the vanguard of making a difference. And I saw her posting on Instagram, and that was 2 years ago. And I said, wow, this is awesome, because I believe, in people that are making a difference, because a lot of people, they are not making a difference. They are not making a difference. And because the beauty of life is knowing the purpose of life. I can tell you with all authority, there are three kind of people in the world. Number one, people that are living life normally. Number two, people that are living life uselessly. And number three, people that are living life usefully. And I don't have time. I will have gone into real distance. I'll be teaching this in the training tomorrow. But the most important thing about life is living life usefully. And to live life usefully, you need three things. Living life usefully can be determined by three different things. Number one, the relationships you make, the relationships you form. So the first thing is the relationships that you form. And number two, the experiences that you encounter. And the third thing to live life usefully is the decisions that you make. So I want you to remember the acronym RED, R-E-D, for you to live your life. Like I said, there are three different people in life, people that are living life normally. You don't remember them. They're just normal. Nobody remember the normal. Number two, people that are living life uselessly. Now, these people living life uselessly, it appears that they are doing something, they make a lot of noise and all that, but they are not living according to the plan that God has for them. And the last group of people are people that are living life usefully, such as Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin actually said, I would rather have people say of me that I live usefully than he died rich. So for Benjamin Franklin, his own reward is living life usefully. That's why today in America, there's something called Benjamin Franklin Day. So all those that live life uselessly, we don't remember them, or we remember them for the bad stuff. So to live life usefully, it has to be determined by the relationship that you form, by the experiences that you encounter, and the decision that you make. And talking about that relationship, I want to tell you, the person you're seeing today, listening to today, Dr. Ayo, is one of the person in my inner circle at the moment. That's why I went through that. And we are both now living life usefully. We just launched a project called Women in Leadership League, just last Saturday, and come September 2nd, we'll be hosting the first time ever, a global women conference. And we are bringing 1,000 minimum women, 1,000 women.
Yes, can't wait.
And people have started registering. The website is out. Don't worry, we'll put the link here. Now, that is it. So the person you listen to, she's someone living life usefully. So if you want to live life usefully, I want you to pay attention to everything she'll be sharing. Yeah. So now, the next question I'm going to ask you right now, Dr. Ayo, is this. What is the greatest lesson you have ever learned in your life?
That is a very good question. And there are lots of lessons that one can learn over time, and depends on different stages in our lives. One of the greatest lessons that impacted my journey is when I was actually in medical school, and one of my relatives, also a teenager, had an unsafe termination of pregnancy and almost lost her life. And I noticed that many a times is for lack of information in able to make the informed decision that you have to make in life. Many a times we are reactive and not proactive. We don't provide the right information that would allow a person, a teenager, an adult, a woman, to be empowered enough to say, I know this and I can choose. People make decisions and sleep and say, if only I knew. And so one of the lessons I learned is being able to get the right information to be able to either prevent pitfalls or help other people.
Yeah.
And that was what began my journey in adolescent health. So while I was in medical school, I had the opportunity and honor to join a group, a student NGO called Action Group for Adolescent Health. And at the time, I became the chairperson of that group, and I led a group of over 40 to 50 medical students. And what we did was to provide informed decisions to teenagers around the campus. We had the international school then on campus. And so we'd go there and talk to people, talk to those teenagers, do what we call campus awareness program. We'll distribute IEC materials, we talk to them, we do awareness. So in other words, when people are informed on how to be assertive, people are trained on how to say no, people are trained on how to prevent unwanted pregnancies in the first place, how to even stay in abstinence. Is not a must that you must fulfill a relationship by going all the way, you know. So how can teenagers have self-worth? How can they, and not just teenagers, don't forget that on the campus we even have the young adults as well, that have gone down the rail, you know, from their initial destination, you know. So my life lesson is having the right information, providing the right information, and saving lives through that information. So that helped a lot. It's in our pre and post assessments. We saw teenagers saying, I did not know this before. Now I know a lot of information on how to value myself, on how to trust my instincts, on how to use the right information to make the informed decisions about my sexuality, being able to use contraceptive if they cannot hold body. That's what people say. But abstinence is the best way. Abstinence. I would choose abstinence any day. But we know there are some people that will not abstain. But what do you do to prevent unwanted pregnancy and unwanted abortion? And then regrets in life and complications. So that was one of my greatest lessons that started my trajectory into the leadership space on adolescent health. And that's, now that I have teenagers, that's a mistake I don't want my children to go through. Do you have the information? You know, that's one of it.
And that's also, and you are 100% right. I remember years back, I happened to be a speaker. I love youth. We are in the city of Philadelphia. The ministry, we have one program that we designed for youth. It's called CITY, CITY. You know, it's catch and influence them young. Yes. So, and I believe that because when I work in Salvation Army and right here in the Philadelphia city of Philadelphia and West Philadelphia, I work with a man that is my mentor now, you know, and his name is Envoy Tony Lewis, and his wife, Sister Labana Lewis, and we were all teams together. And one thing I learned from him, he has a passion for the youth because he was born and raised in West Philadelphia. So during the summertime, as summer right now, we're in summer, so we're going to have what we call it, not just basketball, we call it youth developmental basketball. Nice. So we use the basketball as a bait to bring them into our circle of influence so that we can influence them positively, you know, in doing what is right so that they can make the right decision and all that stuff. So now I've mentioned that now, and I've seen that, you know, youths, one of the things that they got energy, but they lack direction. So they need an adult that cares so much that can give them direction, you know, and that's where vision comes in. So, so I'm excited to know that, I mean, what you're doing right now is not just something that you just started, but it's been with you for a long time. So my next question for you is, what are you learning right now?
Right now, I'm learning a lot.
But
I'm learning a lot through reading.
What exactly? What are you learning right now? You know, every leader always have currently, they have something they are currently learning. If you ask me, I can tell you. There's something. What a leader is learning at the moment is an expression of the leader's passion. So that means there are two ways to learn. and we can learn something that we are passionate about, which is okay, and also then we can learn about something that we are interested in. So what are you learning right now at the moment as a leader?
So I'm learning, like I was saying, I'm learning through both knowledge acquisition and learning from experience as well. In terms of knowledge acquisition, I've been reading The Invaluable Laws of Communication. I think the one that John Maxwell just released. I'm also reading
The Undeniable Laws of Communication.
On communication, thank you. The other book I'm reading, because I'm reading different books at a time, is Emotional Intelligence.
Okay. So that means dominance in your passion right now is communication and emotional intelligence. That's the thing.
So the other thing I'm also learning is on raising teenagers and parenting teenagers with love and logic. So that's on the communication, leadership, and parenting. So the other thing is my life experience as well. Many a times you go through life without learning from them, or when things impact you. What do you learn? How do you improve on that experience that you can use as a platform to even coach and teach other people in future? So that's part of it. Knowledge acquisition, parenting experience, those are the things that are coming back to me on what can I take out of this, my knowledge and experiences to impact the next person.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, the next question I would really ask you is, how did you become aware of your leadership potential and when?
So I feel growing up, I've been in a subtle way, being in leadership positions. While growing up, I grew up in Nigeria. And once you are one of the first 3 students in the class, they put you as class rep, class captain, whereby you lead the class, you read out some things, and you would always do that and say, oh, it's normal. I got an A or the first in class, and then you could take up those positions. But I really became aware of my leadership position when I was in medical school. Medical school is a place where you are put in positions where people that are mini adults, they follow you because of either your experience, your knowledge, or your character and attitude. So leading small groups is something that I've done. Then the real trajectory was when I started leading the Action for Teens and Women's Health as the secretary. Then I became the chairperson. Then I also was part of the Alexander Brown Hall editorial group. I was the secretary then. That formed part of my leadership experience. Part of it was even the Ogun State Student Association, because I'm originally from Ogun State. I was their secretary, and then I grew up the ladder as well. So all this formed part of my leadership experiences. And so when I mentioned over 20-something years of leadership, it comes way back. But what now pushed me into saying I need to use these experiences apart from work to influence people globally. And that's where public health came in. As a physician, you know that you do with one-on-one people and influence one life at a go. But I saw the need to influence more people than the people I meet every day. And that's where public health comes in, where you're able to use strategy, information, resources to impact and improve the lives of more people than one. And that's going global. So my and that's what took me to public health space. And that's what is now bringing me into what I do now as an entrepreneur, to be able to influence parenting, influence the ability of parents to coach, model, and train their children to fulfill their life's potential.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah,
absolutely.
So how does because I believe haven't the two stage for transformation is number one, awareness. That's when you become aware, because I believe everyone has a leadership potential. John Maxwell wrote a book, Developing the Leaders Within You and Developing the Leaders Around You. That means there's something within. I believe everyone has a leadership potential. And so having become awareness, having become aware, the second stage is now accepting responsibility for development. So at what point did you start to pay the price? Because you don't just become a leader. Nobody was born a leader. You become a leader, so the becoming is the process, that's the process of development. So can you tell us, what does that development look like, and what is the price tag that have come with your development here?
Yeah. I think one of the greatest awareness, I would say, is even saying yes. Many a times when we are given tasks or roles, we shy away from it and say, no, I don't want to become that. I don't want to lead the class. I don't want to join this club. I don't want to join this society, because you don't want to put in the work. It takes a lot of work. Communication leadership takes energy, and it also takes you to lead yourself. The first person you have to lead is yourself before you can lead others.
Yeah.
So in your leadership journey is being able to say yes to yourself, being able to say yes to being committed to growth, being committed to the growth of others, not just yourself, but to others. So you have to be other focused. I know when I used to grow up, I'm a noisemaker in class, and I'll be the one that will jump on the table sometimes and be, jumping and dance and everything. And my teacher then would be like, okay, Ayo, he saw my potential. He saw the fact that I am very smart in class, and he also saw good behavior. And it was like, okay, this noise making has to stop. At that time, he made me the class captain. I was like, oh my God, guess what? I couldn't make noise anymore because I had to do the list of noise makers.
She was strategic.
So I couldn't make noise in class anymore. I couldn't be the chatterbox that I used to be, because I'm the one with the list to write the names of noise makers in class then. So a leader would, for me, it took me to say yes. Yes to taking up that role, and yes to using that energy, yes to being others focused and not your focus, yes to knowing that you have value, yes to knowing that others that you want to impact have value, and yes to knowing that you can make a difference in the world. If you don't feel that way, you are not going to want to move an inch. You're not going to see that you have value enough to say, I need to develop myself. I need to invest in myself. Talk about the wheel that we did recently, where a lot of women in leadership came together, and we had somebody coming to talk to us, Miss Wilson. Guess what? If you don't want to invest in yourself, or you see the value in yourself, you'll not even come for that at all.
Yeah.
So for me, paying the price is being self-aware, saying yes to yourself and saying yes to others, and most importantly, developing yourself to be able to add value. You can't add value to others if you don't have value in yourself. You can't fill another person's cup from an empty cup. So you have to be able to be resourceful, to be knowledgeable, to be able to pour out to people. So that's what I would say in paying the price.
So what's
the price?
Now, I heard you saying so many things, and now in the paying the price, but there's something you are yet to say that is highly importante. That's in Spanish, very important. And that is dinero. That's money in Spanish.
Money. Yes, that's the investment.
Because in this podcast, we are not vague. We don't hold back. Now, can you tell us what price you have paid? Because a lot of people think you can get freebies, you can get to become a great leader. John Maxwell, it took him 6 months to get his first growth kit. When someone asked him, Camp Meyer, do you have a growth plan? And he was saying this, he was saying that, he was saying this, he was saying that. And Camp Meyer said, John, it's obvious that you don't have a growth plan. And at that time, he can't even afford it. It cost him $700.
Yeah.
6 months, he and the wife, they have to skip vacation. He has to skip lunch. Benjamin Franklin skipped lunch many times just to buy books. I mean, you hear great men, greatness. There's a price tag.
There's a
We have
price.
we have a generation that they want everything free. Even in Freetown, things are not free. There's a price tag.
Yeah.
So what's your price? What does your price look like?
Yeah.
You have faith in developing yourself. Yeah.
I would say that my development didn't start from me. It started from my parents, actually, because the person you eventually become or you get formed is not at that point when you're like, okay, let me do. My parents had strategically invested in me, even from secondary school. I went to one of the best private schools in Lagos, Chrisland College, and it was huge investments. From there, medical school is not cheap for any reason. It took my parents to be able to, in fact, I had done my 100 level in another school for biochemistry before I transferred into medical school, into University of Ibadan. And it took you to be able to say, yes, I can retake that year, and for your parents to support you to say, you are more than this. That is investment in you in terms of even medical school. Of course, after that, it's my master's. I went to Lagos Business School as well to take leadership courses. It costed money. Lagos Business School was a lot of money then. It was self-sponsored. And that's because I wanted to grow in my leadership in my workplace. I didn't wait for the workplace to sponsor me before I went. I did my MPH as well while married and rearing children. At the point I was heavily pregnant and I was up and down the steps. That is the price you have to take, that irrespective of marriage, irrespective of life, or even your financial situation. There are some times you could leverage the resources you have and the platform to do that. From there, I had my MBA. I had my mini MBA before I had even my full MBA, So where am I going to? All this built up to who I am. But most importantly, for my leadership so while growing in my career, because I was growing, I also saw the need to grow in my speaking and communication. And the more I grew as a leader, the more I knew that I have to communicate with clarity, I have to build relationships, I have to reach the people I want to lead. And even at home, the same thing. And that's what brought me to, even when Dr. Mike, and thank you so much, communicated with me to say, hey, what are you doing? How are you improving yourself? I actually enrolled for an executive coach with Pastor Mike. Thank you, Dr. Mike, for that.
You're welcome.
I saw the need to have a coach for myself to even be self-aware. Why am I stuck? Where do I need to move from here? What do I need to do? What is stopping me from reaching my goal? What are my life's vision? What is my mission? What is my passion? What is my resources? Excuse me. And all that brought clarity with that executive coaching. Of course, it was not a free session. I was happy to invest in myself because it was good. I also had another, this was called the EBS, that is Physicians Business School. That was by Pastor Una. I invested a bit in that, and that was the beginning of doing my YouTube videos. I invested in myself to be able to say, what is my avatar? Who are my people that I want to talk to? So for you to reach where you are, you need to invest in yourself. And most of the time, it costs money. But I also realized my limitation in money, and I was able to even spread out the spending, or the way I'm able to pay back all those things. So it's important. And right now, I'm enrolled in John Maxwell leadership team. I'm enrolled there as a coach, as a speaker. Why? I want to be able to improve myself for other people.
That's another prize.
Yes, that's another prize.
You don't stop paying.
Another prize.
You keep paying the price. Yeah.
You have to pay the price because you have to be a lifelong learner. A lifelong learning helps you not to just experience life, but to be able to put your experience into life. Being able to learn every time is key to my growth, and I'm happy I invested all that in it. And this part of the journey.
And I like the way you said it. You call it investment. It's not payment.
No,
it's investment. And Zig Ziglar said it in a beautiful way. He said, you don't pay the price for success. Say there's no free lunch. You only enjoy the price of success. So you, instead of looking at the payments, you look at the enjoyment that comes. Because success is never free. I don't know who told people it is never free. Ziziba said, if you see anybody on the mountain, he didn't drop there, he climbed there. And the climbing is demanded as an investment of time, investment of of emotional commitment and all that, and investment of money.
Yeah.
And listen, there's no way you can rise up in life until you wise up. And you wise up by investing in yourself. The law of the mirror said you need to see value in yourself before you can invest in yourself. One of the greatest definitions of personal development is the belief that you are worthy enough of the investment of time, money, and effort. So you must believe you are worthy. If you don't believe you are worthy, you won't. You know, one of the quotes I shared today in Thinkers Island, I love quotes. You know, I'm a quote freak. And Eric Thomas said something, and it's so beautiful the way he said it. He said, when your effort is low, you are probably not thinking about the opportunity. You are thinking about the obligation. You see, when all you think about is of the obligation, your effort will be low. But when you think about the opportunity, there's no limit to the effort you are going to put in. Yeah, so that's the grace, and I'm glad you talk about that, because we want emerging leaders to really understand there's a price to take. Of course, you will get some things for free. Listen, for instance, I watch YouTube. I pay YouTube every month to have YouTube Premium. That's the price every month. Because I don't want that ads, so I'm a student of YouTube University, so I don't want no ads. So I pay YouTube to have YouTube Premium. That's the price. It is every month. Yeah. And there's some other things. Well, I don't do Netflix and all that stuff, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm intentional in my investment, and everybody needs to. So the last question I'm going to ask you today is this, and we always had this question on this platform: what role as mentorship, and you have actually said it rightly for the sake of the podcast listeners and viewers, Dr. Ayo was actually my first paid coaching client, and that's something I see. If I shared something with her before we started, and I want to say this for the benefit of either you are listening to me, you might maybe you are a speaker, coach, and trainer, and listen. There's something we call 5-star reward. When you are serving clients, when you are serving people, don't think only in terms of the money. There are 5 things we get when we serve clients. Number 1, we get money, but that's the only thing some people focus on. Yeah. Number 2, we get better. Anytime we serve people through training, coaching, speaking, you don't just get money, you get better. Number 3, you get feedbacks. Someone said the shortest word in the English language that has the first 6 alphabets A to F is feedback. So we get feedback because feedback helps you to be more self-aware. And the 4th thing we get when we serve people, either through coaching, speaking, or training, is we get results. Not your own results, the result for the client. Because the result of the client is the result of the coach, trainer, or the speaker. And the last thing we get is fulfillment. So don't forget, when you serve people well, you don't just get money, you get better. You get results, you get feedback, and you get fulfillment. That is how to be a 5-star speaker, coach, and trainer. So I just give you a hack. Now, back to your question. And I'm always excited when I see her today. I mean, because I have the privilege of getting those 5 things from serving her, so, and I'm still serving her
It was
today.
a pleasure.
I'm still serving her today. The only thing that is not there again is number one. But listen, when you get 2 to 5, you good. So let's see the last question. How has mentorship make a difference in your life? The reason why I ask this question is this. Ben Johnson, I'm not talking about Ben Johnson, the Canadian sprinter that was run. No, this Johnson is spelled as Jonson. And he's an English writer. He said, he that is taught by himself has fool, but that is taught only by himself has a fool for a mentor. That means if you are the one teaching yourself, you have a fool for a mentor. And that's why it's very important for us to note and to really see the place of mentorship, because mentorship is key. It's a very, very important process, and because when we subscribe to mentorship, we have that privilege of development. And there are 4 things everyone needs in life in order to thrive and succeed. Number 1, the first thing that we need is learning, not just learning, in-depth learning. Number 2, application of that learning, practical application. That means it's not learning that brings transformation, it's applying what we have learned. Jim Rohn said, more than knowledge is applied knowledge. And that application will bring your own personal experience. The 4th thing is we need mentorship or coaching, and the last thing is we need peer, P-E-E-R. Peer means positive, empowering, encouraging relationship. People that you are going towards the same direction. So tell us and I want to tell the audience and the viewers, what has been the effect of mentorship in your life, making you an effective leader? Thank you.
Thank you. So mentorship has been huge, and I've had different mentors for different parts of my life. But I would want to say my first mentor is my mom. She's a great woman. She was a person that taught me how to drive. She's a person that will push me and say, you can do this. And that's where parenting comes in. We are the first mentors to our children.
Yeah.
We know them. We are the first set of people that would build a relationship with them and make them have that self-worth that they need in saying, I can. Because many people carry self-doubt from their childhood to adulthood that they cannot even shake away. Things that they've been fed with, they are not good enough. You're always making mistakes. You cannot speak well. You cannot this, you cannot that. So my mom was my greatest mentor. At the point when you are stuck, she'll ask you, so what's the next stage in your life? Are you just going to be stuck with medicine? Are you not going to do your master's? What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? In terms of even investment, she'll ask you, how are you investing your funds? So she had been a mother that has mentored me in every aspect, even in faith. Being able to be a woman of faith that I am now, she had been a huge mentor in my life. Along the way, I've also had mentors in medical school, people that have been there, they're able to bring me up. And that's what also began my journey in leadership in med school, where people that have been there, oh, join this, join that, you learn from this, and they'll walk you through. And they're able to give you a platform to rise. In marriage, I've had mentors of women that are successful in their marriages, in their homes, are able to give you factual advice. Not people that would say, is it me? My husband cannot do this to me. I will just leave immediately. A woman that will tell you the principles of the word of God and how to be able to humble yourself and even lead your husband back to the heart of God. Other mentors are in workplaces, in career, where they'll be able to show me the way to go. And other mentors are friends. I've had siblings that are top executives that have mentored me even when I wanted to get the top jobs that I've gotten. either in global health or where I'm working. Say, oh, why don't you do this? This is how to negotiate. That's mentorship. Where am I going to? It's not until you have somebody up there before they become your mentor. Mentors can also be remote. The books I read, John Maxwell is a mentor to me. Valerie Burton is a mentor to me. I love the way she speaks, the way she coaches. She's a mentor, and I listen to her. Always happy to watch her YouTube channel. Even John Maxwell, 1 minute with Maxwell is every day. I try to log on and just listen. So my mentors have been people in my personal life. I've been people that have gone through my career journey with me, and I've been people that are friends. For instance, you, Dr. Mike, you've played a very huge role in saying, why don't you do this, do that in my speaking and coaching journey. So I've enjoyed greatly the impact of people providing guidance, providing support, working alongside me to be who I am today across my life.
So how can you convince people listening to you that they need a mentor? So how can you convince them?
Oh, everybody, we all need mentors, paid and unpaid. People will say when you have paid mentorship, it helps you because that person is unbiased, is at your corner, is there for you, trying to help you to walk through, and you are more even accountable to that. Mentorship helps you to create even a better vision of where you need to be. There are the people that have been there, that have done it, and are at a higher platform than you are in that particular field or platform or circle of life. So I would say, if you haven't gotten a mentor yet, you should seek out for mentors, people you respect, people you value, people that their values align with yours as well, their principles align with yours as well, because I've seen people that have had mentors that have made them practically go from bad to worse. So you need to seek out the mentors that align with your values and would look forward to your success.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And just for the benefit of the audience and viewers listening, one thing I learned in mentorship that there are two ways you can be involved in mentorship. You can either pay to play. You can either pay a mentor for that mentorship, or number two, that many people do not know, you can serve to play. You can render your service, find a way to serve the mentor. That's what Dr. Ayo is doing now. She's not paying for my service. She's serving with me. You got me? And that's it. Many people, they don't consider that, because when a mentor see you are valuable, you have something to contribute, they will stop receiving, any money from you, because they know that what you bring in is more than the money. And I just want to encourage someone, because I believe so much in gift to me. I wrote this in my second book, and to be revised this year, is God's investment for triumph. So I just want to encourage someone, don't stay, what about me that cannot pay for mentorship? When a mentor finds you valuable enough, you start serving to play instead of paying to play. Wow, that was an insight. So thank you, Dr. Ayo. It's been a great time with you. So how can people get in touch with you and get to know about Action Teams for Moms? And I want to know, I'm one of the person in the world that believe in Action Teams for Moms. I believe so much in what you do.
Thank you.
I want to tell you that I really believe in your dreams. So how can people get to know more about you and what you do? How can people link up with you?
Thank you. You can reach out to me. First, you can follow me on my social media handles, Action for Teens and Moms Health, both in Facebook and Instagram. My website is the same, Action for Teens and Moms Health, as one word. Those are the three places that you could reach out. And also my YouTube channel, there are lots of resources there on my teachings, on parenting, on leadership, on communication that would prove so valuable to you. So go on to YouTube, search for Dr. Ayo Adenuga, you find me there, and Action for Teens and Moms Health, and you can just glean from all those free resources, just for you. So thank you. It was really nice communicating with everybody. It's nice here to just share with you.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Ayo. It's been a great privilege to have you, and thank you for adding value to the
Absolutely.
Leadership Advancement Mentorship Podcast. We really appreciate you coming. Here you go, viewers and listeners. I want you to know this as we live, that knowing doesn't make the difference. It is doing that makes the difference. I want to encourage you that everything you've had and today, don't just know it for knowing's sake. More than knowing is doing, because it is doing the practice that brings about the transformation. So don't just listen, make sure you apply what you have learned. Until I come your way next podcast next week, bringing another high caliber leader your way. Don't forget, don't just listen, apply. Bye-bye.